Alright, so I'm back looking at our template here, and the next bit of information that we're going to need, or I'm going to need for your curriculum project, is your semester exam. And I want you to understand why I'm asking for this. We need your semester 1 exams because we are going away from Mastery Manager. That will not be used for our semester exams in 2012-2013. We're going to go with Performance Plus. And so all those exam answer keys and those standards have to be entered, and I would like the clerical pool to do that, but it's going to take some time. So we want to make sure we have a consistent format for them, and it's clear for them what exactly they're going to be entering, so your exams, go off without a hitch during first semester exams. So if you look at this template, you go across the bottom, you'll see another tab. It says Exam Answer Key and Standards. Okay, so here is where you will type in your answer. So I want to go through this tab where you'll be entering your exam answer keys and the standards. Now, in this template, you'll notice some of these cells have a little orange triangle in the top right, and that means if you mouse over any of those cells, it gives you a little bit more information. So mouse over this cell for instructions. It tells you the sheet will be used to enter the exams into Performance Plus, our new data analysis tool. The course number, we're going to need that. In other words, MAT 111, ENG 312, BOS 100. The title of the exam, we're going to need that. The grade level, that's a general guideline. Even if it's a class that tends to be mixed, give it your best shot. If it tends to be a few more freshmen in the class than sophomores, call it a freshman class. The approximate date of the exam does not have to be exact. Nobody is going to hold you to that, but the system just needs a date, and so for our clerical pool friends, they'll just need a date to put in. The number of choices per multiple choice question. In other words, is it an A through D, or is it an A through E? In other words, if it's 4 questions, 5 questions, whatever. Okay. So the item numbers, add numbers at the bottom as necessary. I assume you're going to have more than 12 questions. The answer, so is it A, B, C, D, or E? So here's where you just enter your key. And so on. The point value, typically those are 1. 1 point per question. However, you can make some questions worth more than others if you wish, but if it's all just equally weighted, 1 point per question should be fine. But if you have a few questions that maybe they're worth 5 points, entirely possible. Now, what's also very, very important is that you tell, you list very clearly what standards you are using. So again, let's say I'm using, I'm doing a Algebra 1 exam, MAT 111, the title of the exam. Mr. 1 exam, the grade level would be 09. The approximate date, let's say 12, 15, 20, 12, I don't know when semester exams are, that's close enough. Number of choices, this only has 4, okay? But under standards, I need to say I'm going to use the Common Core Math Standards. Ninth grade. Okay, so that just lists which standards you can use, and then you're going to put the standard number next to each question. Now, the standard numbers, it's pretty important that you pay attention here. Performance Plus and SunGuard, they have uploaded all the standards that we need, that your department chairs have told me that we need for our exams and our courses. So what I've done is created a website where you can find the standards as they are entered in Performance Plus, just so we know exactly what numbers we're talking about. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to go back to the Summer Curriculum Project page, and right now I'm on the Submit Project Materials, and here's Standards from Performance Plus. If you click on that, there's a bunch of standards. So for example, in math, I'm going to be looking at the Common Core standards for grade 9. So if I click on that, it's a Google Doc, but it's a PDF. And it's just a PDF, basically a screenshot of how the standards appear in Performance Plus. So somebody entering those standards, this is what they're going to be looking at in Performance Plus. So for example, question number 1, let's just say I want to align it with this first standard, n-rn.1. So you just type n-rn.1. That should probably be capitalized, but you get the idea. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Common Core Math. Let's just say question number 2 is this standard here, n-q.3. n-q.3, and so on. So for the core math standards, or the Common Core Math standards, that is, for 9th grade, each question has a point value and a standard. Some questions might be aligned to 2 standards. You only really need 1, but let's just say I want to use the EPAS standards as well, the Explore, Plan, ACT standards. Okay, I can go back to here. If I want to use the EPAS math standards, and let's say that first question is additionally aligned with this crazy number here. It's math.1315.33, okay? Okay, and so whoever is entering that exam into the into Performance Plus is going to know exactly what standard. So they're going to go question by question. They'll have a little check boxes where they can go and attach item number 1 to that first standard, and then they go to the EPAS standards and attach it to the second standard. But you have to be very, very clear on the standard numbers. So if you want to see another example, there's another tab here, and this is for some random English 2 semester exam. So you know, these are Common Core standards that I've added in there. So if you want to take a look at that example, you can. But these are the materials we are going to need, or part of the materials we're going to need for your curriculum project and to enter standards and your exams into Performance Plus.